It's difficult because it has to touch something in everyone who listens to it. So you have to be able to find something that everyone can relate to, I suppose. And what would that be? I suppose it would be something that can't be that complicated, you know? It has to be something, it can't be so simple that it's childish, but it needs to be simple enough to where it's, because intimacy can be a very simple act. So I would say that the music should be something simple and accessible, but then you have to find a beautiful combination of notes. So, but my main answer would be probably that simplicity that everyone can relate to. Be between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. No, I would actually not. I like a love story where there's a change in a person throughout the story, that change in the relationship, something because of the relationship changes a person for the better. And I think offhand right now of a movie that was with Laurence Olivier and Joan Fontaine. I think it's Rebecca, where he starts off as a very cross and very kind of bitter kind of man, and beautiful sweetness of her character, and she doesn't even have a name in the movie. He calls her, I forget what he calls her monkey face or something like that, or something, you know, changes him for the better. So I mean, my favorite, that I would say I like when we see a change in the person, you know, through the relationship. Yeah. Oh, it was fantastic. No, it was absolutely wonderful. I mean, I love playing La La Land to this date, and I've played it many times. And first of all, I never get tired of it. And I'm not just saying that because no one's paying me to say this. It touches me every time. I mean, I follow the story, you know, and play the music and musically. And also the takeaway, I mean, sometimes they'll talk about Switzerland and Swiss people being very not so animated or exuberant, but the audience was crazy good. Like people were they went nuts over it. They loved it, and that was fantastic, you know? Yeah, I really enjoyed being here. I mean, I really enjoyed that concert. It was fantastic. Yeah, huge. There's so many cine concerts. I traveled and played La La Land in Taiwan, maybe 5 separate occasions, and I don't mean 5 concerts, I mean 5 times, about 15 concerts in Taiwan. There's a love of this, and in Tokyo also, went to Japan, many times in France. People love experiencing the music live with the movie. It's a fantastic thing, and I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's only getting more and more popular. Yeah, definitely. Because before, where someone was like, "Oh, what do you mean the composer? You mean the person who wrote the songs?" Or like they didn't really. There's now more of an awareness about it, you know. So this is fantastic. I mean, I'm happy about that for sure. Yeah. It's a completely different feeling. I mean, in the studio, if I'm playing with an orchestra, there's the sense of the other people in the room, and when you're playing, there is a certain amount of response to the music being played while we're playing it, but that's the orchestra playing. We're just experiencing that within ourselves. With an audience, it's really electric. It's really, it's always been that way. It's a powerful way to experience the music. And there's a unspoken relationship and connection with the audience as they listen to it and we play the music, or I play, which is unquantifiable. It's just not even, there's too many variables to even explain it. It's just something magical. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you absolutely have to please the artist too. But hopefully, I mean, they're there as the process is shaping and taking place. So there's an awareness that they're vocal about, you know, yeah, no, I like where this is going, or I like what, yeah, that's great, or something. So it's very obvious as it's shaping, that you're on the same track with the artist. There might be a little bit of a feeling of a little bit of that kind of feeling, but it never goes to a point where it would affect my playing. I don't get shaky or anything like that, but there's adrenaline that I can feel in my body before we go on. Yeah, so I would say probably no to the stage fright. On the project. If I'm composing for a film, then it's a journey to find the music with my director. I have to please the director. It has to be something that we agree on that works for both of us. So it's more of a community effort, which is good. I like working that way. I'm preparing to do my own solo album now, which will be within this year. So I'm enjoying getting things ready for that. I have a producer that I talk to, but my decisions are really kind of final with this. He has opinions about certain things, and I have a choice, and I either take them or I choose not to, depending on what it is. But as a change, I'm enjoying that process of writing, you know, music for myself, basically. Well, I'll say yes, I would say it's from movies that I worked on for other people. So Forrest Gump was a big milestone. Harry Potter 1 was a very big milestone. Back to the Future 1 was a big one also. And Titanic, actually, I have to say Titanic also. No, I think those are my big ones.